Hello guys, it's Glurmit here, and today I'm joined by... Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, it is MDA or the Optimist. Kind of had a nice back and forth here. Everyone in Discord knows me as MDA, but my YouTube channel is the Optimist, so either one will do.
So, today we're going to be going over the GLs and which one is the best. I know you guys have probably been wanting this for quite some time. I see a lot of it in the Discord. The Optimist also sees a lot of it as well in other places. So we're going to try and break it down and tell you which ones are the best. And would you like to kind of explain to everyone the criteria we're going to have for today?
Yes, so we spent a lot of time trying to make sure that we encapsulate everything that comes with, you know, getting a GL, farming the GL, what they do, and trying to really rank that into a consensus ranking. And we wanted to take the conquest characters into account, and so we wanted to cover all of our bases there. But I think the main thing that I think both Glurmit and I agree on is that all GLs are GLs, and there is no, like, if you get one of these GLs, none of them are bad. They are all good in their own right, and you will get a lot of value from whichever one you go for. Absolutely. So the three criteria that we have, first one is their PvP value. Second one is their PvE value. That'll be like your raids, your territory battles, and like the assault battles. And then the last one is going to be the farming process and how difficult they are to acquire. And
just so we can clarify for the people watching, when we talk about PvE and territory battles, will we be using or giving certain characters a bonus if it's light side geo?
I think in this case we will, just because that's the nature of, you know, light side geo is more difficult, and that is what it is.
That sounds good. Okay, so let's get going into the video here, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by release order. MDA, I'll give you the honors.
Yeah, so release order, we've got Ray Kylo, Luke C, and then JMK Cat, and then we do have their conquest lifters because, as I'm sure you know, these GLs are better with their conquest lifters.
Absolutely.
So I guess we'll jump in with PvP. We're going to start without the conquest lifters, just to give you an accurate idea of what you are getting from this GL. Which GL is going to be the best in PvP?
It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. For me, I would probably put Ray. I don't know about you. I kind of feel like Ray's good, especially on defense. But in terms of her offensive capabilities, she's just not as viable as the others. If you think JMK can solo multiple GLs, Lord Vader can solo multiple GLs, SLKR can solo multiple GLs, and Sith Eternal can solo multiple GLs. Hot take, maybe even JML in a similar sort of area, just because he does benefit a lot off the R9. And he's going to be beating stuff without it, but I don't know what you think. I think it's between those two.
I think this is so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my rankings here for,
go for it.
For PvP. I would say Ray's at the bottom.
Yep.
I would then say C.
Interesting.
I would say SLKR.
Oh, fair enough. And remember, guys, this is without the conquest lifters. This is just
this is without the conquest lifters. Yeah. It's tough because, man, they're all so close. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to bump SLKR up one. I'm going to go... See, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put these through here, but I'm gonna kind of let Glurmit talk me off the ledge here for some of these. Okay. So, I'm really debating between. I think Luke, for the longest time when I'm remembering metas, Luke you always see near the top of squad arenas and all that, just because the teams that you farm are the teams that he runs with, and especially now with where relics are. I would say during the Relic 7 meta, Luke wasn't as great, but now that Relic 8 and Relic 9 is more and more prevalent, I think Luke has just gotten so much better on defense in terms of, you know, his defensive viability, what he can beat on offense. I would say really the only thing he struggles with is C, which as long as you have the right mods, we have datacrons, he can beat everything here. I think Lord Vader can solo two of these teams, and really he can almost kind of solo Rey, because that's kind of how it goes down. I think JMK really without Cat struggles. And he is good, don't get me wrong. Like I would say like 4th here on this list is pretty good. But he doesn't really have that great a defensive viability.
Yeah.
And he is more of just of an offensive team, I would say similar to C.
Yeah.
Whereas Kylo, I think individually he can beat most. I mean, he solos C, he solos Lord Vader. He can beat Rey. Battles aren't pretty. I would say with every SLKR fight, banners aren't going to be great.
Yeah.
Defensively, though, he holds pretty well. There's not a lot of non-GL counters. I think this is my definitive tier ranking here.
Interesting.
I think I could be talked out of certain ones, but what about you? Where would you adjust your rankings here?
Personally, I think C needs to be higher. Just
All right.
For me, C is when you think Grand Arena and GLs that are only good in Grand Arena. C's who comes to my mind.
Yeah.
And I also think SLKR would arguably be number 1.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think SLKR is number 1, and I think C. See, I think it would go Rey, JML, JMK, Lord Vader, C, SLKR.
I agree with you. C is just PvP is what he's good at.
It's tough, and guys, I hope this shows you that the GLs are really hard to rank because they're also similar.
I mean, this is hard because I'm not gonna lie. I can agree with you here. I mean, shoot, you had me. I had JML number 1, and I could easily put him number 5.
Yeah,
that's just how close this is.
For me, JML being low, the only reason, and I know we're mainly ranking him GAC, but it does need to be accounted for. You do need higher relics on him for him to be very viable. That's the only thing that really throws me off him. In terms of Rey, for me, Rey is fantastic, by the way, guys. If we was ranking just on defense, Rey would probably be number 1. But unfortunately, we're not. JMK, Lord Vader, I mean, you could probably swap them if you wanted to. I mean, they're very equal in their power here. But for me, Lord Vader solos too many teams. He solos SLKR, he solos C. You can... It's not really a solo, but you can auto JMK teams of Lord Vader. You can more or less solo Rey, like the Optimist said. And guys, if you're watching this video, let us know in the chat, which of the two did you agree with? Did you agree with my ones, or did you agree with the Optimist? Let us know.
Now, do we want to throw in the Conquest Lifters?
I think we have to.
So, I think we both can agree. I'm just going to shift these down.
Yep, absolutely.
This just jumps automatically.
Yep.
That's... both of these two can beat each other. However, I think we both know JMK Cat is just better than Maul as the way that the things work. And the AI on Lord Vader's not quite the best, or some of the requirements for his kit isn't as straightforward and simple as JMK's. And JMK has also had the benefit of being buffed by CG.
So many buffs. Dispelling stealth, ignoring protection, all of those fun things.
I think I can agree with this ranking here. I think you can maybe flip... I think you could flip any of these 3.
Yeah.
Depending on... Just because JML now gets value because he can beat JMK Cat.
Yes.
However, it's... I would say this is the... To me, this PvP list looks good here.
I would agree. Honestly, I think the 3 that are going to be the hardest to rank for PvP is going to be Kylo, C, JML. The only reason I think Kylo should go above them, and the only reason why I put him as the top guy before, is because he probably is the hardest GL to beat with a non-GL, outside of JMK Cat. Yes, you can use Jedi Knight Luke, but, you know, that's very specific modding, as you would know, on certain characters, and if you don't go before them with, say, old Ben or something, you don't get those ability blocks, the TM removal, all of that fun stuff, you're going to have a bad time. And Kylo's just really good. Should we move on to the next one, the PvE?
So, alright, so for PvE, this is going to include raids, assault battles, territory battles, and I think as we said in the beginning of the video, we are going to be giving a bonus for light side geo.
Yep.
Just because that's the way that it is. So I think for me, in terms of PvE, my ranking here, how I would do this, and again, we are going to leave Maul and Cat are going to just chill here at the bottom. We'll put them in later. I think we got to go here, here, here,
Yes.
here, and there. And my rationale, or actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So my rationale here for this, Luke, he has an assault battle. He has 2 light side geo teams that 4 out of 4s all the way to P4. And for Conquest and for most Galactic challenges, Luke is one of the best. I mean, it's one of those, you need a tank, you throw Watt with him, you can cheese a lot of feats. He's amazing in light side geo, and Jedi have the assault battle with Jedi Knight Luke. JMK, light side geo, you can really throw some bad Jedi with him, and he can pull through. Even just using just his requirements, he can go and get waves done. He makes the Padme special mission, the Nexu battle, makes that all easier. Lord Vader has an assault battle. He's great in Conquest. Solo's the Sith raid.
Very true.
Same thing with Kylo here, but however, these two don't. They are in Darkside Geo, and frankly, I think Lord Vader does better in Darkside Geo than Kylo does.
Absolutely, yeah.
Kylo, pretty much, it is you make it all the way to P3, your whole team dies, and hopefully you have enough ultimate charge to just stay in damage immunity the whole time. Rey does well in light side geo, not as good as these two. The Resistance do not have an assault battle, and Rey does. I would say Rey does better in raids than Jedi Master Luke does. But I just think that a lot of the teams, though, you have to either go farm elsewhere or she is pulling from other teams. Her natural resistance team just isn't the best in PvE. She's good, but just not amazing as the other ones are. And then C, he's fine in Darkside Geo. He's not that great in raids. He has an assault battle. He's good. He's better than most legendary teams, but he's not better than any of these 5.
Yep, definitely agree. Also, with regards to Rey, it says a lot when you have to farm Jawas for them to be very, very good in C-Pit, for example. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my Jawas, but yeah, unless you're like middle to late game, you're not even going to be in a position to even want to farm them, which does bring them down quite a bit. I completely agree with your list, 100%.
Yeah.
The question is, does your list change when we add in Conquest units?
And for that, you guys are going to have to find out in part 2. It'll be on my channel here, so we will have the description, or we'll have the link in the description. You guys can come check it out there. So yeah, appreciate you guys for stopping by.
Go check out MDA or The Optimist, and make sure you watch the second part of this, otherwise you're going to be left on the cliffhanger for the rest of your lives.